Hi guys, my name's Alexa. I am a former character performer at Disney World in Orlando, Florida. And before I went to my audition, I had a bunch of questions and concerns and I couldn't find any answers online. So I thought maybe I would make this to help out those of you who are considering auditioning or you're about to go to your audition. At the end of this video, if I haven't answered any of your questions, please leave them in the comments below and I'll try my best to answer them. And if there are enough, maybe I'll make a part 2 video. So what I did is I wrote down a few questions that I know I had myself and a few things that I think are kind of key that you should know before going to the audition. With that said, I worked for Disney from 2012 to 2013, so some of this information might not be accurate, but I think it might be close enough. I was hired full-time. I was offered a contract 2 weeks after the audition, and yeah, it was great. I loved it. I had a great experience. So let's get to the audition experience, and maybe I can make another video when it comes to my actual experience being a cast member. So the key thing is to make sure that you drive to the audition location hours beforehand or like a day beforehand so you really know where it's at. It is behind Animal Kingdom Park and it's like through a winding road in a very vegetated area. There is a sign, but it's sometimes like somewhat hidden by palms, and it's kind of like in a gated area that you wouldn't think is Disney, but it definitely is on Disney property and has the Disney signs once you get there. With that said, make sure that you do get there on time because they're going to shut the doors on you if you're late, because they don't have time to wait for anyone extra. There's going to be like hundreds of people there, and they want to make you feel good, but they can't, give special, they can't treat anyone special that's, not going to be considerate of their time. So yeah, with that said, I'm gonna go through some questions that I had. I remember thinking to myself, like, what do I wear? I'm gonna have to probably dance and move around a lot, so I was thinking, like, do I wear a dance leotard? And I'm so happy I didn't because once I got there, like, no one's in a dance leotard, or at least at my audition no one was. So I would just say, if you're trying to figure out what to wear something that's really comfortable that you can move in, that like holds everything together and is not going to distract you or distract anyone who's watching you. So what I wore was a thick fabric white t-shirt that like formed to me but wasn't like skin tight, and then I wore long yoga pants that flared at the bottom. I know, not cute, but I wasn't trying to make a fashion statement. I was just trying to make sure that they could see my body shape, so that they could see what kind of characters I could play and what characters I couldn't play. I also just wore socks and tennis shoes. There were some people that wore dance shoes, which I think is fine, but sometimes the process is so long that you don't want to be in some tight jazz booties or, like ballet slippers. You might want some support. Like, my audition was 6 hours long. I'm really glad that I wore some tennis shoes. Then it also is probably a question that you have that I also had, was what kind of makeup do I wear? The makeup that I wore, I felt really comfortable in. It was foundation, a little bit of bronzer like on my cheeks and maybe my forehead, and a little bit of blush, very, very thin eyeliner. No eyeshadow, I don't think, and then it was like 2 coats of mascara. I didn't even do my eyebrows, which, like, ugh, who doesn't do their eyebrows? But you don't want to go in with like crazy makeup on. They want to see you for who you naturally are, and don't worry about being like gorgeous and looking like a supermodel, because it's really about the personality. Like, they just want to see someone who's happy to be there, who's like ready to roll the punches, improvise on the spot. You just have to be very personable, because that's what your job is going to be as a character performer. And once they put their the Disney makeup on you and the wig and the whole get-up, it's not about being beautiful. It's more about the personality. That being said, like, I worked with some people that were friends with the same characters as me, and they were like gorgeous. They could be walking the runway, but you don't have to look that way at all, of course. Check me out. All right, the next thing that I have on my list here is, yeah, just the audition process, what it's like and what to expect. So In the audition process, it's in about 3 stages. The first stage is you're going to wait in line. You're going to get to a desk and they're going to ask you for your name and like a few little bits of information, like maybe your age. Can't exactly remember. And then they're going to take your height so that they know what characters you can play and what characters you can't play. Just like I said earlier with like the shape of your body. I don't think they take your weight because it really doesn't matter how much you weigh per se. It's more like what shape your body is. So yeah, after that, they're going to have everyone kind of spread out into like the sides of the walls, and they're going to call in numbers, and they do like 10 to 15 people at a time, I think. And you're going to have to do an animation portion. They're going to score how well you can mime a storyline. So they'll give you a scenario. Mine was you're driving a car and you get a flat tire and you have to change the tire. And it's very simple and basic, but you can make it like over the top. You can add a little to the storyline and make it a little funny if you want to. And I would suggest that at this point you just want to be like over animated, like huge body motions, get really physical with it and show your personality in your face. Like, are you really happy that this happened? Are you like really sad that this happened? Are you angry? Like, get into it so that they can see that you could play face character and you could play fur character at the same time. Because once you're in that fur suit, you're gonna have to communicate with guests, and you're wearing like a massive fur suit with huge paws or whatever hands and like a helmet for a head, and it's gonna be really hard to do. Sorry, I got a low battery here. There we go. So yeah, your score's gonna be out of 4 points. So I got a 3 out of 4 for my animation, and then the next portion is the movement, and they're gonna also score that out of 4. I luckily got a 4 out of 4, but I grew up dancing. I have a bachelor's degree in dance, so take this lightly when I say that it was really easy. You just gotta go with the flow. If you mess up, it's okay. Just stick with the whole style of just being like royalty. I was lucky that I got the job on my first audition, but once I got into Disney, I went to a bunch of other auditions, and things happen. People mess up all the time, but I see them move on to the next portion, or I see them actually get the other job. So no big deal. They're gonna have you probably walk and use your arm gestures, see what your body alignment is like. So just make sure you're standing nice and tall with a great posture, like shoulders down, chin up, and just look like you're very confident and regal. That's what they want to see. They want to see if you can play royalty. They want to see if you can play those evil characters, the villains and things like that. So yeah, that's what I would say is what your mindset should be like when you're performing the movement category. So that is the first stage, and then they'll start cuts. So they won't call you out. They won't say, oh, Alexa, you're gone, bye. They're just gonna say, we want number 15, 24, 28, 32, blah, 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 until they can get it down to a smaller group. Then you're gonna go on the second portion where you're in another studio space, and they're gonna give you a script, and that script you're going to read from like a certain character. So I got assigned Ariel, and they gave us like a good 20 to 30 minutes to kind of memorize the script, and we got to work with coaches. They came in, gave us like good tips and pointers, and you kind of like maybe read a line or two from the script, and it was a monologue, so you're just speaking out to an audience. It's not like you're interacting with anyone else. It's really nice that they have the coaches there as well. So the coaches will give you words that help describe the characters and how you really need to portray yourself as that character. I was asked if I wanted to play Aurora as well, so I got a script for her, and I had only seen Sleeping Beauty once. So I was scared. I was thinking, I don't know who this character really is. How am I going to portray her? This is going to mess up the whole audition. But really, they were so nice, so easygoing. They had me do her a few different times, and I felt like towards the end, they were like, yeah, that's it. That's good. Keep going with that. Let's start it from the beginning. That's definitely her personality. And in the end, I ended up being Aurora's friend and Ariel's friend, and I went through a training process with some people who had also been their friends in the past, and I really got to know the characters before I went out and actually did meet and greets. So yeah, that's the second process. they'll take you out into a hallway and they'll call you in individually to read the script, and then from there they'll do a second cut. So the third stage is the best stage of all. You actually get to go into the costume closet and put on some of the costumes. You get to go in with makeup artists, and they'll put the makeup on you that the character has, and the wig is set on you, and then they'll take pictures of you like with your head tilted like to a corner, snapshot, side snapshot, like profile straight on, like chin up, looking down. They want to see that you like how the whole look is on you no matter what you're doing, because in meet and greets or parades or whatever, you're gonna be looking all over the place. You're gonna be looking down at books. You're gonna be making different facial expressions, hopefully mostly smiling the whole time like you're supposed to be. So yeah, that's that. So once you have the whole get up on, you go in and you're gonna read the script again in front of a camera. So you actually get so many opportunities to get feedback, which is amazing. Like, they don't do that at normal audition or most auditions that I know of. So you'll do the script in the whole costume, and it like makes you feel like you really are the character. So it really reads better with the script. And they want you to like walk across the room. They want you to use a bunch of arm gestures and moving your shoulders, moving your chin, your face. Like, get really into it. Be silly, like I said, for the animation part. Like, the sillier the better. Well, not silly, but if you feel a little out of place, it's okay. They would rather you go further than bring you back than they have to like keep telling you like, come on, can we get a little bit more out of you? So keep those things in mind while you're doing it. And that's it. That's the last part of the process. They just send you home. Mine was a 6-hour audition. It was very tiring because you have to be happy and positive and just like upbeat the whole time, but it was so worth it. It was so much fun. I met a bunch of nice women and men, and yeah, so once they send you home, you are put into a pool and you just have to wait to hear from them. And so if they have something open, they'll call you up. I got very lucky, got called within like a week or two, and moved down for the Fantasyland Grotto opening. That was amazing. It was so much fun. Yeah, so that's that. If you have any questions or concerns, leave them in the comment section below. Like I said earlier, I'll try my best to get back to you. And for those of you that are considering auditioning, do it. Like, totally go for it. I know people have auditioned like 11 times and then they finally got the position. Like, sometimes it's just a bad day for the casting. Sometimes it's not your best shot. I say just go for it so you have the experience of it. All right, thanks so much guys for watching. Hopefully I'll see you again soon.